speed and some toughness to go across the middle. You put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Jackson and the offense come up 1st and 10, and he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Being chased out left. And now he's going to use his legs. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Go out. Come on, D. Check 52.
Jackson options out left. And he held on to it, but he probably shouldn't have as they get him behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. This offense 2 for 2 on 3rd downs on this drive. They're in for a tough test here, though, 3rd and long. And the tackle made at the 13. He is well short run as it brings up a 4th down. Tucker's kick is good. And they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They are still in search of their first points in the ball game, but only down 6-0 as they begin with a first down. Now Breeze. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. CD, we're already firmly in the month of November, so I want to go ahead and take a look at the AFC playoff picture. Right now, division leaders, New England, Baltimore, Houston, and KC. If it ended today, the wild cards would go to Buffalo and Indianapolis. And you think those are going to be the 6? Probably some shuffling along the way.
There will be some shuffling along the way, maybe more in seeding than in actual teams, because when you're looking at who's in the wild card hunt right now, Pittsburgh, Oakland, both 4-4. Tennessee and Jacksonville at 4-5. The way teams are playing, they may just knock off each other. I think all the teams we listed have a heck of a chance of making it to the playoffs. It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things.
Alpha. Easy.
Now Breeze on 3rd down. And Gen's got it. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. 14 yards is the pickup. 1st down, New Orleans.
Let's go.
1st down, New Orleans.
Ready? Yellow waiting. Push him back. Push him back. 5 now.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Patrick Owasor came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
You kill.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Eddie, yellow lady.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's
looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Carr. And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead now stands at 13.
Let's go, let's go.
At their own 35-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first two drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right?
And now nothing but green ahead of him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Jared Cook, 65 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Oh, that's pretty impressive, Charles. It's one thing to be an elite speed wide receiver and have all that yards after the catch into the end zone from your tight end.
Yeah, you don't get that very often. What you're describing is more like a Tyreek Hill, a Devontae Adams, and Antonio Brown. You're not talking about a guy that lines up or can line up in line and look like an extra tackle on running plays. He took that bad boy.
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. The 20. And it's 6 points for the Baltimore Ravens.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, and if you do, you're taking on some responsibility, but he was happy to do so there.
Gonna go past the 20. Touchdown, and the New Orleans Saints put 6 up on the board.
And as we've talked to special teams coaches, that theme of being aggressive continues to come through, doesn't it? When they moved the kickoff back to the 35, it was going to cut down on the number of opportunities. But if you've got a special guy, you give him the green light no matter where he fields it in the end zone. And in this case, it paid off handsomely.
Well, he fielded it deep in the range of emotions. Maybe like, oh, no, don't. And then all of a sudden you see him break it, and you're like, yeah, way to go.
Yeah, sometimes you have to remind your head coach that he approved the green light for bringing it out from deep in the end zone, and that's exactly why he did.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field is still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
From the 25 on second down, Jackson, he's got it to Ingram, complete. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. They go play action with Jackson. They'll roll him out right. He gets it to Brown, complete. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
First and 10. Check back 31.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Forced out to his left. He'll try. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. The Saints say they have it, and they do. And now look at him go. And he's into the end zone. A fumble return and a Saint touchdown. And he has great speed, defensive back speed. Once he got and took off, there was no catching it.
And I know every team tells you to hustle no matter what the play, but there was no chance of catching him. Maybe if it had been a defensive tackle running with the ball, but not in this case.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened-up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Now it's Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 6.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion.
Tight left, go. You got 3, three down. Go. Check like 33. Big stop, D.
Now Jackson, operating from the gun, steps away to his left. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left.
Sideline and incomplete. It's now 4th down.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Walk 54. Hey, here we go.
Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Set now to go for the 3rd quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace, because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They run it again with Kamara. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
You're good. That's 4, ready. Hey, high 7. 48.
From the gun on 3rd down, Breeze drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 10 yards, good for his Saints, first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle, someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Well, with that incompletion, let's tap into the useless facts file, shall we? 3 guys with the last name Allen got the start in Week 9. Josh in Buffalo, Kyle in Carolina, Brandon in Denver. All 3 got the win. And, Charles, that's the first time in league history that 3 QBs sharing the last name won on the same weekend.
How about that? And I think for Brandon Allen, his first start as well, so not bad. Now, throw in the guys who have the same last name and their starts. Let's go to 2000. The Johnsons, Brad, Doug, and Rob. And in 1984, we're really digging deep here. I love this. Dave, Wade, and Mark Wilson. Now, to my recollection, none of them were related. Just all had the same last name. Who would you take, the Johnsons, or would you take the Wilsons?
I'll take the Johnsons. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Patrick Owasor picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Traquan Smith, the intended receiver. 3rd down here. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Hey, echo.
On 3rd and long, it's Breeze. This is complete to Michael Thomas. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, the spot. Right at midfield at the 50. Here's Thomas Morstead now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Operating from the gun, Jackson. His throw incomplete. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, only thing larger than his name is wingspan as he knocks that one away.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sheldon Rankins abruptly ends that play with a sack.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, They need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
A throw left side to start the drive is complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Running with Kamara. They find some open field here. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, 53 yards. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Again, they'll run with Ingram. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Now Jackson on first down. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you've got to run fast. Of course, you've got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
They'll get their receiver involved here. It's Brown. Eli Apple up from his corner spot to make the play.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
Eluding the pressure right. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Throwing is Jackson. Got a man. It's Brown. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Jackson rolling to his right, and he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. A 9-yard touchdown run as they now sit just a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up in the 4th quarter.
So they got the touchdown they needed to cut this to 2, but now they've got to get back to the huddle. No celebration time. Got to figure out what they're going to do on the 2-point conversion.
Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. And the failure to convert and tie the game. Now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you're talking about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket for these types of situations. What can we do to slow down the onslaught? But the biggest thing is making sure these guys encourage each other, pick themselves up, because right now it's been a really tough ball game trying to stop these offenses.
Oh, it really has, especially as of late. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line.
Check 13.
Again, it's Kamara. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. He's got a 1st down and then some at midfield. And finally brought down at the 38. He was trying to hit Thomas that time.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On the ground, Kamara. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. Now Kamara. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
A 10th carry for Kamara. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.